one thing that can derail the 49ers season if it happens, in your opinion, Jesse?
I think continuity is probably the one. So, first of all, I don't know if you took note of this, but I felt like yesterday at the podium, all the guys were a little on edge, like a little perturbed, right? Like they were already done dealing with the media early on. And so I thought that was a little interesting. But I also look at what happened last year with this team. Again, special group, they made a deep run, but they had a big chunk of guys coming back. This year at OTAs, unlike last year where everybody showed up, you had a lot of big names not showing up. You still don't know what's going on with your center.
Mhm.
Debo's still, until he's signed, he's not necessarily here. You've got a whole new coaching staff outside of basically your offensive and defensive coordinator. There's a lot of question marks here. Now, they can put it all together. They have the talent, but continuity. How does this team work together and band together? I think that early season East Coast road trip is always a good thing to bring a team together, and maybe that will be where things work out. But I think that's probably the one thing that's not being discussed enough is are they all on the same page as a team? Because that was special about last year's team. I think that remains to be seen.
Yep. How about the offensive line? I hate to keep like banging the drum here, but just the combination of a quarterback who lacks experience in an offensive line that has 80% question marks,
Mm-hmm.
that can really derail things. So I mean, it could happen that the offensive line is good. It could all come together. But if it doesn't, I mean, you could be at the Nate Sudfeld level at that point, which is not where you want to be if you're trying to win games. And then also that nickelback spot. Let's say Talanoa really is a quality. He's no step down from Jaquaski Tart. Who's going to play like K1? What's the plan there? Maybe they'll have one. If not, there's a lot of good wide receivers who line up in the slot, including one they face twice a year, who went for a lot of yards last year. Cooper Kupp is his name. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, just comes to mind.
Yeah.
Nickelback is not only an elite band name, Grant, it is a big question mark for the next team.
I heard that group was just a big fan of sub packages in general.
They're no Smash Mouth, I'll tell you that.
It's true. It's true. Hey, here's the thing. Smash Mouth wasn't great, but they inspired that, hey, now you're an all-star line from Nori and nothing, which is a great line. I always, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
No,
Some people
I
know what I'm
know
talking
exactly. It's a great. It is.
Best part.
It's
one of
a
the better
great
lines.
yes. And
Yeah.
Noriega, yes, took it
You're
to
an
a whole new
all-star.
level.
So love that. Love that part. So good job, Smash Mouth. You inspired Nori to make a great. You made it a hot line. He made it a hot song.
Now what?
Right. All right. So that's one thing that can. That's plenty of things that could derail the season. Last thing that we're going to talk about is one thing that can change your mind completely about this season.
Okay, well, I'm going to take it from the stance. I said this team was going to be 12-5. So opposite of that would be they would have to not make the playoffs and probably not be a very good team. I think that the only way that happens, the most likely way that happens, is through injury. Right? If they just can't stay healthy. Now, I think the team's extremely deep. That's one of the things that I do like about this team. That's why I'm very confident that they can be at least an 11-win team and make the playoffs and make a deep run here. Plus, I think a lot of the other teams have taken a step back. I think overall talent, the 49ers have taken a step forward. But at the end of the day, you said it early in the show, Grant, you cannot predict injury. And if you can't predict injury, they might get bit by the injury bug, crazy style, like they did in 2020. And if that happens, I don't think many, if any, teams can overcome that. So that would be the one thing that could happen that would just change my mind completely about my optimism with this season. And especially if it happens before the season starts, that's never good.
The way I look at this season is it could go a lot of different ways, but for the Niners to go where they want to go and to make the for the Niners to make the playoffs, I think Trey needs to start no fewer than 15 games.
Okay.
I think he might be able to miss 2, and the Niners can make the playoffs. Better just 1 or 0. So if the Niners offensive line can come together and be decent, and because I mean the thing with Trey is like that we're learning is like he really messed up his finger in preseason.
Yeah. Yep.
That lingered all year. And then he messed up his knee when he's in his first start. So he holds the ball a little bit longer. A bad offensive line affected him last year. Is he going to be healthy for 16 games, or are the Niners going to be starting Nate Sudfeld more than once? If that's the case, then that's no good. But if the offensive line is decent enough and Trey Lance starts 17 games, I would feel pretty confident the Niners can make the playoffs.
Okay, so let me ask you in a different way. What would you have to see from this team prior to game 1 for you to be like, okay, now that I've watched this team a lot, I think that this is a legit contender. What would it be, that offensive line? You'd have to see them kind of dominating or playing really, really
Five
well
guys.
against this
Five
defensive
guys.
line?
Forget Trent Williams. Five guys.
Okay.
Aaron Banks, Alex Mack,
Okay.
Daniel Brunskill, Mike McGlinchey, Trey Lance.
Okay.
Those 5. If they all
Okay.
play well this offseason, great. But how much Mike McGlinchey we're going to get? Is Alex Mack coming back? Is Aaron Banks good? Is Trey Lance good? I think he is. Is Aaron Banks good? I don't know. So those 5. If they all have monster off seasons, then you're thinking, okay, the Niners bet on themselves. It's going to work out. But I don't know if it's going to work out. They definitely bet on themselves, though.
Okay. That's totally fair. Again, you said that this was a 8-9-1 team. So for you, you'd have to really, those are the things that swayed you in that direction. If they show you otherwise before the season starts, then that's what would change your mind. All right, that's fair.
If they had given Trey 7 starts last year, 8 starts last year, gotten rid of Jimmy Garoppolo as he wants right away and beefed up the offensive line, replaced Laken Tomlinson or kept him, replaced Alex Mack or kept him, kept Tom Compton or improved that spot, I would say this is a 13-win team. Like, this team, it could win the whole thing. But they didn't do those things. So I feel like, I could be wrong. They bet on themselves, but, I'm here to be a critic. So I'm saying 8 and 9 wins. I'm just trying to speak my honest evaluation here. If I'm wrong, I'll say it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So a lot of pressure, Daniel Brunskill. It all comes down to you, Daniel, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh my God. I remember when we all got excited that we thought Daniel Brunskill was Mac in the locker room for like 20 minutes. That was fun.